Good girl.
It's too damn hot in Virginia right now.
Join us on our different zip code benders. Our road trips are nostalgia. Our cast, our inside jokes, and our undying love for nerds. Remember, you're never alone. Never alone. If you have a bros.
Let's just say I've seen several reviews of it. I have not watched it yet because what I was afraid of.
Well, let me just ask you, do you have one of these?
No, that's as
'Cause I
bad as
do.
Howie's Hook.
You should ask him. Does he remember how he got one of those?
I do not remember how I got it.
Yeah.
Actually, I do. I ordered it like 3 months ago, and GameStop, if you're listening, I deny everything. But I ordered it from GameStop, and they charged my card. And then, like 2 weeks ago, all of a sudden they refunded my card, and then this showed up the next day in the mail. I'm like, okay,
Really?
yeah. But GameStop, if you're listening, I just made that story up. All right, I guess I can do it. Let me channel my inner Robinson. Welcome everybody to Just Us Bros podcast. Today we're going to talk about Supergirl, the movie. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you indifferent? Bat Drew and I have seen it. Flashman has not. Bat Drew and I are going to talk about it from the perspective of how we viewed the movie, and then Flashman's going to let us know whether our opinions make him want to see it any more or any less. So
Consider
without further ado,
y'all bullied me into watching Superman. I'm just throwing that out there.
and you don't regret it. As always, I'm Green Lantern.
It's too hot in Virginia for me to be wearing a shirt, so I'm Bat Drew shirtless and probably pantsless.
Flash Man.
Funny enough, when we started this podcast, before we started recording, two out of the three of us were not wearing shirts.
That is accurate.
We'll,
I can attest.
we'll let you guys guess who. Flashman, you have not seen Supergirl. What are your thoughts based on trailers and other reviews that you've seen so far before Bat Drew and I get into it?
If I'm basing it off of what I saw of her in Superman, I'm not looking forward to her portrayal of that character at all. I I knew they were going to go down a rabbit hole of woe is me. However, I was hoping Lobo would save the movie. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not excited with James Gunn at the helm of DC right now. Let's just say that.
For the record, you have not seen the movie.
I have not seen it. I've seen bits and bobs.
And I've
Well,
actually seen it twice now.
Waste.
But yeah,
Wasted
But,
your money twice.
well, I fully invested in the future of the DCU. That's how I'm gonna put it.
Okay.
But after seeing it the second time, I can say that I think. Okay, first off, I really feel like this movie could have been better than what it was. And actually, my first reaction, I remember I looked at Seth and I was like, "What am I watching now?" This movie wasn't even 2 hours long, and that's why I felt like, did they cut a bunch of scenes out? Because there was like some parts of the movie where the pacing to me felt like it was they got to this scene, then they had to get to this scene, then they had to jump here, and then how the hell did you get here? How did they get here? But I was like, okay. And then after the second time I watched it, tried not to think about that. Felt like I enjoyed the movie and the way Millie played Supergirl, and of course Lobo, because Jason Momoa I think was born to be a Lobo, like RDJ was Iron Man. I still think that the third act was very that brought the movie down. But altogether, I think unfortunately I think the writing was bad. As much as I want to champion this movie to tell people to go see it, I can't, and that hurts me to say it. Even though the characters and the world and the where we're leading to, I think is going to work out because I like where it's going. It's just to me this movie, I felt like it would have been better as like an hour long special or maybe a mini series. So, Jill, what did you take? Because you've only seen it one time, right?
So my initial reaction is the movie was not great, but it was not bad. I was entertained for the hour and 45-ish minutes that I was there. There were points during the movie where particularly during fight scenes, I was kind of like, oh shoot, what's about to happen? Knowing that it's a superhero movie and you know it's Supergirl and Supergirl's not going to lose, but even still, some things that happen, I'm like, oh crap. But overall, feel like the movie served as DC saying, here's this girl, here's this character, Supergirl. She hasn't really had a big screen moment. She's going to be in the next Superman movie. She's probably going to be an integral role in the next Superman movie. So we need to force her backstory. And we also need to force this other story on the audience so that you sympathize with her. Um,
So,
that being
so
said, I was just going to say, that being said, I think the actress portrayed her version of Supergirl very well. And that I think all the actors portrayed the characters that they were playing very well. I think the acting was spot on. The storyline was kind of boring.
So, did either of you read the comic that this movie is based around?
vaguely, yes, I've gone through it, and it kind of sort of follows it and changes it for like I guess movie versus comic book sake, but
Yeah.
still,
What about the decision at the end of the movie? That didn't happen in the comics. I know that for a fact.
yeah.
What decision?
Where she gets the revenge instead of letting the little girl do it.
Oh, I think that was great.
Well, yeah, but
It differentiates her from Superman, and
And
she grew up differently from Superman. So, and she
and
has memories that he does not have.
yeah, and I can agree
that's
with that
true.
too because I've seen online people saying that when people wear that symbol, they don't kill, like point blank period. I'm like, there's a lot of gray that it made sense for her to do that instead of have. Oh man, what I can't even see how see how forgettable this movie. What was her sidekick's name? The girl with the sword.
Ruthie.
Ruthie.
Yep.
Instead of having Ruthie do it, she took it upon herself to keep Ruthie safe a little bit longer, and then she took um the brunt of the guilt and shame and whatever for, you know, this is for my dog, this is for her. And actually, the first time I said this is for what you did to that little girl, I thought she was talking about because for a split second I thought she was talking about that girl that was with the family that they ran into at the bar that was gonna go get them bad dude's name. Man, I can't even remember his
Um,
name.
hold on.
On Kane.
Is it Noel?
Yeah,
No,
no.
Yeah.
no.
There's like
Oh, wow.
3 or 4 of them.
Yeah,
I guess is that the bad guy?
I believe so. Or Krim. That sound
Krim.
Cram.
yeah.
He's the creme of the crop.
Yes, that makes sense. That's how we can remember it. And
Creme of the crop.
it's very unfortunate that I had to ask again to remember two of the basically main characters' names that weren't Supergirl or Lobo, but that's kind of how
Yes.
much this movie went out of my head after I watched it. I really do hate saying this because I wanted this to be a home run and knock it out of the park, but
I went
it didn't
in
do her justice.
I
What
went
do you
in
got?
with I went in with low expectations so that I would not get disappointed. I was not disappointed. I was not blown out of the park either though. Like it was just I don't regret the time in the theater watching the movie, but I have no desire to watch it a second time.
So what I'm gathering from this is wait till it's on HBO Max to watch it like I did Superman.
Unless you want to continue to support the DC cinematic universe, because then they need box office sales. So,
But
but
also talking about the DCU cinematic universe, just to sidetrack just for a quick second. I I think that they'll still be fine. Yes, this is a quote unquote first bomb for them, but I still think that because they do have Clayface coming out this year, and then for Man of Tomorrow, from what I've seen, that does look interesting, and I
We've
don't
got
know for sure.
lanterns.
Well, yeah, lanterns for TV. But I still think that they can they can course correct and be fine. But again, this movie, I mean, they're not all going to be, you know, great rewatchable products. I hate saying products, but I didn't know what else to say there. But yeah, I still think that the DCU is okay. It's one hiccup. Now, if it
well,
if I'll go
let,
ahead.
let me ask this: how do you feel about the writer for this movie is also the writer of two upcoming DC movies. Do you think
Why?
that this writer should be fired based on the storyline and the not just like the fans, because we are comic book readers, we are fans, but the general audience seems to lack interest in this movie. Do you think that writer should be assigned other projects?
I hate to say yes, but in their defense, I also do feel like probably 20 minutes of that movie was cut out. But that being said,
And it was.
I still don't think that's going to save the movie though. Having those 20 minutes back in, it may flesh out some more scenes, but there was still just too much. Um,
Do you think it was the storyline itself that brought it down, or do you believe it was
I
the
think it was
acting?
just acting, definitely not because acting was on point. I
Okay.
champion Millie Alcock as Supergirl going forward, but it's just that every scene, every next scene seemed like kept to me. It felt like okay, here's we're gonna shoot this scene. Now we're gonna go here. Now we're gonna go here. We need this in this scene because that's gonna make the plot go forward. Oh look, good, that's there. That and every scene seemed too convenient. Like everything that led up to the next scene, it's like we need this person to be here. Hey, well, look at that. That person's there. Okay, we're gonna go to this planet and we need to get this. Oh, hey, look, he's also here. But then, yeah, it's just everything fit together too perfectly, almost to feel like you weren't going to 5 or 6 different planets. You were just going to 3 different counties in your state.
The cool part about that is they established that there is a public i- interplanetary public transportation system.
Yes.
That was kind of cool.
But then one thing too, also that I was thinking about, because I remember clocking this the second time, is she was talking to somebody who's like, "Oh, you speak the common tongue," which was English in the movie, but she
Hmm.
couldn't speak that to Kal-El when she arrived on Earth. She's like, "I
Yeah,
like Superman was like, oh, you have no idea what I'm saying," but in space, that's the common tongue.
but could she have been speaking the common tongue, but we just heard it as English because we're dumb?
It could be possibly because
But
I
but
think
circling back, Anna Nogueira is slated to also write the next Wonder Woman film and the Teen Titans movie. Like,
Okay.
don't screw with my Teen Titans.
But is it
yeah.
on the writer or is it on the director for allowing? Like he
I
had to
think
put the cut together. He saw what we saw.
yeah, I still think it was the script
The,
failed the
the script
movie.
was the
Yeah,
script was weak. And I have not read the comic that it was based on, but
It's
and
one of the few I
I
have.
don't mean any disrespect to whoever wrote that, but if that's close to the story of the movie, that comic was a weak comic as well.
It's different. The
Okay.
comic goes more into the heartstring side of things. And the fucking dog is not a goofy character in the comics. Just throwing that out there. I would recommend reading those. It's a good run. It really is.
No goofy dogs.
No Luffy dogs. No Luffy.
little Luffy crypto.
Um, so I'll champion the comic. It sounds like over this movie. From what I'm
Yeah,
getting.
perfect sentiment. Like when you hear fans of books that are turned into movies and they're like,
Yep.
the book
Book
was
was
better.
better.
Oh God, it really I feel it hurts my soul to say this, but yeah, I just I can't. I know, Flashman. We're supposed to be convincing you to see this movie in
Well,
theaters, or
this is why I
but
wanted the
I
raw.
just we can't. We can't. I can't. I'm sorry.
All
Yeah.
right, let me ask you this, Drew.
Yes.
Would you rather watch Blue Beetle again?
Well, as
You
JL
know how
said,
I felt about that.
I enjoyed myself in Supergirl watching it. I would not take my. I enjoyed the time I spent there. I didn't. I don't want that back. But dang. Actually, because yeah, technically that was the first DCU movie, wasn't it? And he's still technically part of
Mhm.
the world. But if you said, "Hey, we're gonna put one of these movies on," like we've had both on streaming, I would say, I guess I would say, go ahead and put Supergirl on. But that's not to say I did not like Blue Beetle.
Yeah,
I would put Supergirl in comic book movies above. Well, I mean everything's above Madam Web, but this is above Madam Web. Kind of like on the same level of the first Venom movie, where it's not a great movie, but I'll enjoy watching it. So like a popcorn flick, great to watch and kill time. But I don't want to say kill time in a bad sense, but you know what I mean. You know
I
what I
got
mean.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would watch Blue Beetle over this. But I also, to be fair, I like Blue Beetle as a character better than Supergirl. So
Like they're
that's,
making
that's not fair.
like they're making the side characters because the main characters have been overdone, I guess. So they're
Yeah.
reaching its draws. So
Yeah. Overall, like I said, it wasn't a bad movie. Lobo definitely was a good inclusion in it. Um,
Bastage.
I kind of hope Jason Momoa and Lobo get something out of it, whether it's future appearances in other movies or I'd love to see them take the Peacemaker route and do a HBO miniseries. I think Momoa was made for that. I think Lobo as a character would do well with that. Um,
it'd have to be
but
rated R.
oh,
Oh, of
absolutely.
course.
Like if they do
I'd
a PG,
also
I'm not even gonna watch it.
I'd also love to see Lobo cameo in the Lantern series, and if you know, you know why. But that's for
Yeah.
another day. Which would also be perfect. Why he would be perfect to have a mini series himself because they could connect those. Slightly far stretch, but also kind of makes sense. If you know, you know.
What other positives do we have to say about the movie?
Again, like I said, I'll champion Millie as Supergirl going forward because I understood her arc in the story. Like it makes sense why she was the way she was, and I guess she did change at the end, but that ending with her and Kal-El could have been paid off better. But I digress. Characters were on point, like I said. Supergirl good, Lobo great. Um, yeah, if you're looking for just a summer popcorn flick, something to watch with friends, this will be it. I would approve, and that's all I can say. What can you add, GL, or endorse
I'm just
more?
gonna have to say, since I've been watching it, the animated My Adventures with Superman, season two of that explores Supergirl and her relationship. That 8 to 10 episode, I can't remember how many episodes it is of a season, but 8 to 10 episodes of that, and Supergirl being in that similar background story, except she was raised by Brainiac instead of on Kandor or wherever the hell she was in this movie. I can't even remember. It wasn't Kandor, was it? It was somewhere else.
They mentioned the
Um,
name, and guess what? I forgot because I forgot most of the
yeah,
movie.
because it wasn't Kandor. Anyway, um, that series, in my opinion, has been a really good series, and they've done really well with the characters. They don't take it too seriously, but also there are high stakes in every episode. And again, similar characters, similar art coming into a world that she's unfamiliar with. I liked that portrayal a lot better than the live action. I like the storyline a lot better. But again, that's kind of not fair because Superman's still a big part of that story. Whereas in this movie, I feel like they pretty much were like, "Oh yeah, remember that guy Superman? He's her cousin. Here he is trying to contact her. Here he is at the end of the movie, so you guys remember that he's her cousin." But it really was a standalone. Yeah, like I said, not a bad movie. I was not disappointed, but I did not have high expectations. Um, I do hope that if the same writers used for Wonder Woman and Teen Titans, that it's a better storyline.
Yeah.
I mean,
One
because let's face it, Wonder Woman, we don't need another origin story. We already got that with Gal Gadot. Um, so I mean, spend 10 minutes going over her background, who she is, she's Zeus's daughter, whatever, and show us a new story. Show us a story that we actually care about. Teen Titans, yeah, depending on how they do that, you're gonna have to have some background on the characters. That's gonna be a tough one.
That's gonna turn into another Suicide Squad.
That's going to be a tough one. I mean, because if you spend 5 to 10 minutes on 5 or 6 characters, that's an hour right there just on backstory. I don't know how
which
they're going to do that.
which is why I think Titans they already did it well
They
enough
did it
when
really
they had
well.
it as a HBO Max series. Depending on how they're gonna go with the Titans movie, if they want to make it like they're Titans, but they're also they understand and know the main like Justice League, and they
But
work
it's
with them.
specifically Teen Titans, so I feel like they're going to go with a more younger,
Goofy.
campier version.
Yep.
And here's me saying that. What about instead of Teen Titans, they just did a Young Justice movie? Because I I feel like for the series they didn't have to do like the backgrounds for the first few episodes, right? They just or did they just cut into it and then we just went with stories and
Yeah,
then
they
filled
just
it
went. I
in
mean,
throughout?
Right
with
into it.
with
Thought
with Young Justice, the only backstory we got was, hey, here's Superboy. He's a clone of Superman and Lex Luthor. I mean, but it started out with what? Speedy, Kid Flash, Aqualad,
you know,
and Robin. And it's like, oh yeah, we all know that who they're. We basically know they're a younger version. We know who their mentors are. And then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, here's Miss Martian. She's the nephew or the niece of the
Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter. And it's like, okay. And we went with it and it was good. And then they added backstory. But again, that's tough to do because in a
Yeah.
in a canonical episode, you can kind of sprinkle in bits of backstory, but an hour and a half to 2 hour movie, you're limited on backstory plus main focus plus there's always a B story going on in the movie too.
Would you rather see it done similar to what they did with The Mandalorian? Do like a season on HBO Max, culminating in the big bad fight as a movie?
No, because that was a cash grab in my opinion. Um, I haven't even seen. I've only seen season
Neither.
one of Mandalorian. But I think if the story and the interest is there, do it as a mini series or multiple seasons, whatever. I think your big guns like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash need to be movies. Some of these other side character because we've seen it with Marvel. Marvel's getting all these side character movies recently since 2020. They've not done too great. People don't care about the side characters. People don't care about the side characters because they don't know them. Well, how do you get to know them? You got to spend time with them. Peacemaker, nobody would give a bleep about Peacemaker, but they did the show, and now if you watch season one and season two of the show, you know the character a lot better, and you actually care about him. If they came out with a Peacemaker movie, I'd be all over that. If they came out with a Peacemaker movie prior to the show and they tried to fit 2 seasons into a 2 hour movie, I don't think that would work.
No, because definitely the series gave us time to grow
Best.
and watch and invest with the characters and fall in love with them. See, so here, here, here's my hot take for this stuff. I think somewhere along the line where we wanted origin stories for like movies where franchises kept coming, like this is just in general for everything. Like, oh man, yeah, this just for example, like Joker was so good in Batman. I wonder what it was like for him to have an origin story, and then we had this the desire for all these setups for origin stories. I mean, I don't think we need these for comic book characters. If you want to fill in audiences on what this person was, if they're and not an established character that just John Doe on the street's going to be like, oh yeah, I know who Nightwing is. Have them be series like um Peacemaker series
Yeah.
on HBO Max for fleshing out stories. And if you want to put him in a movie, boom, he can go in a movie. And he's already, hey, he's working with Superman. I know Peacemaker. I know his backstory now because I've seen the series. And I think that would cut out a lot of the stuff. Like if you want origin stories, like don't do origin movies anymore. Give them a series because that gives you time to flesh the character out. If they have side characters that are important to their growing aspects of who the character is, I mean that to me that I feel like that would work better. So my hot take again, instead of a Supergirl origins movie, which basically this was, which we didn't really need. Like if Man of Tomorrow came out and then Supergirl was in there, and you're like, hey, this character is pretty cool. I like how she is. I wonder how she came to be the way she is and what would have changed to make her change. Supergirl series. Like that's how they can solve this stuff. But that's just my hot take.
Do you think they overcorrected? And this is for both of you guys. Do you think they overcorrected based on the Flash movie and there being a Supergirl in there, and we didn't get an origin story? It's just like, oh yeah, we couldn't get the rights to Superman, so here's Supergirl. She's been frozen in this cave, or I don't even remember the rule or the reason, but it's like, do you think they overcorrected with that? Was like, she needs a background, she needs a story, she needs her own, like whatever.
I think it's possible. Yeah.
Yes. And also, I think that more so that I hate to say this, but I think this is what it is. That they made this movie to try to draw like, female fans into this movie, but the problem is if there are women out there that would go to comic book movies just because they're a fan of the comics and whatnot. And I think the studio was thinking, hey, this is a girl, a super girl. Let's get these people that aren't giving us dollars interested in this and make this, you know, appeal to them. Which, if you're not going to get them to see Captain America: The Winter Soldier, they're not going to come out just because Supergirl is the lead. And I think that's part of why they were like trying to course correct, like you said, GL, for maybe she needs the origin story. Like, no, just stop worrying about trying to make a movie that has to feed to an entire franchise story. Just worry about making a good movie. That's
Yeah.
why the solo Joker was so great. That's why the Robert Pattinson Batman was good, because they were just worried about making one good movie. They weren't worried, okay, this has got to connect to this. This has got to go with that. It's just that's where they're losing stuff at. Just worry about this movie. Don't worry about the future. And that I think that too puts the writers in kind of a bit of a pickle, making them think, well, how am I going to make this make sense for her future? Well, you need to focus on her present, dude. Just worry about that for right now. So yes. Oh my god, it is so hot in
And
my
in the
room. The
famous
AC is
words of
on.
Forrest Gump, that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I think that's a good ending for us on this
Yeah.
Supergirl pod.
When it hits
Well,
HBO Max, I'll give it the time of day because I want to see Lobo. I do, but I don't want to sit through crap to get to Lobo.
Momoa
So,
was great as Lobo. The first scene where he was introduced, I will say, was they went high stakes with it because essentially they're at a bar. Like, do you care if I spoil it? Okay, they're at a bar. It's Supergirl and Ruthie at a bar. They're talking about their plan, and then all of a sudden, Lobo speaks up from the corner of the room, and Supergirl's like, "Ugh, don't make eye contact with him. Don't talk to him. Don't involve yourself with him. He's a bad guy." And like Supergirl's like, "Oh shoot, we don't want to get involved with this guy." And for somebody like her that doesn't care. I mean, she's going around on red sun planets, picking fights just so that she can bleed and feel things. But she also knows she can get into a yellow sun and whoop anybody's ass. For her to be in a yellow sun system and Lobo pops up, she's like, "Oh shoot, we need to steer clear of this guy." That was a cool introduction. Like it established the respect and the the level of, I guess, power level for the main Bastich that he is. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll wrap it up. Um, well, guys, let us know what you think of Supergirl. Did you see it? Do you want to see it? Do you Are you waiting for it to come on HBO Max? Let us know if you had similar or different opinions. We'd love to know why. Like, comment, subscribe for more, and hopefully it'll be um, less than 6 months before we host again.
Yeah, they finally
Um,
let us. We finally escaped that asylum. So yes, we're
yeah.
back, baby.
But
But as always,
as
he's GL. I'm Bat Drew. That's Flashman, and we're missing one because he has obligations, because adulting sometimes keeps you away from things. But he'll edit this very well for us, I hope.
he better.
hey, Bill.
But as always, crypto out.